Better team won. They had something we didn't have. We weren't at the level required to win this game. Pep Guardiola. Damning statement in a damning result as Manchester United, from minute 1 till minute 90, dominated a game of football against Manchester City. And you can go and look at the stats and you can try to tell me that City held possession or that City had the momentum chart. But if you watch this game, you know what this was. It was a 1-90 pure outclassed Manchester United team beating up on Manchester City. And I'm ecstatic. I woke up at 4:30. It's now 9:15 for me local. So I've just got to sit on this all day and kind of collect my thoughts and try not to get too carried away. But I'm over the moon. And here are my 5 things watching Manchester United beat Manchester City 2-0 at Old Trafford. Coming in at number 1, we'll start with Carrick. I mean, to come into this job and come in at this junction of the season with Manchester City and Arsenal being your first 2 games, no one expected anything. And to his credit, you're playing with house money. So what does he do in his first match? Well, he goes ahead and he benches the guy who scored 3 goals in his last 2 games. He goes and benches the guy that has been playing every week while Mbeumo and Ahmed have been out. He goes ahead and he plays Kobe Mainoo. He goes ahead and he puts in a defensive lineup, that has probably had its best games in 2023 under Eric Ten Hag. And he says, you know what? We're just going to out-tactically class Pep Guardiola in this one. And we're going to take advantage of Manchester City's weaknesses, which are there for the taking. And United went in with the game plan under Carrick that ultimately won them this match and got them all 3 points. Dominating. Attacking. Manchester United DNA from 1 to 90. What a beautiful thing that can be. I was so impressed with Carrick, and for someone off 3 days to come into this position and do that, hats off to you. You get so much credit in the bank for doing stuff like this, and Carrick, in his interim stints, has shown that he can play with the big boys. So kudos to him, and that's my lesson number 1. Lesson number 2, Pookie's home. Or should I say Pookies are home. Brian Mbeumo, Ahmed Diallo, and Kobe Mainoo. Oh, God, it's so refreshing, isn't it? Seeing these 3 players and their technical ability take over matches. Kobe Mainoo made Rodri, Semenyo, and a bunch of other host of City players look silly in this match in the midfield next to Casemiro. His ability to get on the ball and get out of tight spaces is next to none. I think it might be one of the best in the world. And obviously I'm being a little overzealous here because I think so, but this kid's got so much talent. He's got so much talent. It's a pure joy thing to watch him, and when it's an academy kid, you feel just that extra level of something. Thought it was just a really good performance from him. So happy to finally see him starting and playing, and it was just such a feel-good moment. But in particular, the 2 Pookies that came home. Brian Mbeumo and Ahmed Diallo are the main reason that I have been wishing so heavily that their teams have lost in AFCON. Because these 2 players are just of a different breed, a different class. Both these guys probably should have had 2 or 3 goals, just that offsides took it away from them. But Brian Mbeumo, in his first game back, they were like, hey, we need you to play the 9. We also need you to drop in. We need you to be our counterattacking threat. And guess what he was? He was the 10. He was the counterattacking threat. He's the guy who opened up the scoring with just a class finish. I got no words for how good I think this player is. I think United have an absolute superstar on their hands. People don't realize that this guy is so solid-coded. Talk about moments, talk about skill, talk about pace, talk about power. This guy's got it all. And he can play across the entire front line, and he does it brilliantly. I'm in love. And Amad Diallo, we're going to see the best out of this guy. This guy's, I think he went on the pitch today with Semenyo, Foden, Cherki, Doku, who have been some of the most informed wingers on planet Earth, and he was the best winger on the pitch today. Should have had a goal or something with the offsides, the craziness, but this kid is special. This is like the coming together of like a bunch of players that like couldn't get into other manager squads, and it was just such a feel-good moment. And those three being back, Pookie's being home, I needed it. I needed it more than I needed air, and here I am. So that's lesson number 2. Lesson number 3. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the disrespect. Bruno Fernandes is the best midfielder in the Premier League. I'm over it, man. Like, you can debate a wall when it comes to this conversation with me. This guy is a creative genius. He's one of the best creators the last decade of this sport has seen. And if you tell me that you don't see that, I'm sorry. We can have conversations about the sport. I just think you don't know shit about ball. You don't know anything. Because Bruno Fernandes, genuinely, look here, is the best midfielder in the Premier League. 6 created chances against Pep Guardiola. It's never been done before. Bruno made it look easy. Bruno was springing every counter, and I know people hate the wastefulness, whatever the fuck that means. This guy was pulling shit out of his ass that would make people's entire careers. Like, he had highlight moments throughout this match that literally people would dream about. Go back and watch that clip of him taking the ball down and fucking whipping it across to Dorgu on the first chance of the game for United. Oh my fuck, the dude he's incredible. And I don't have any more words to say, and I will debate a wall over this idea that there's anybody that's close to him right now, because there's not. Everybody is as good as Bruno Fernandes until it's time to be as good as Bruno Fernandes. 9 assists. He missed a month. He's played in a side that's hit the woodwork more than any other team in the country. It's ridiculous. This guy, I don't know where United would be without him. I am in forever debt to Bruno Fernandes. I just love him. I think he's awesome. I just think he's brilliant in every sense of the word. And that's lesson number 3. Now, lesson number 4. I'm going to chalk it down to depth, but I want to talk about Patrick Dorgu real quick. My stock is so high on this individual. When you look at the way the Premier League is going, I mean, look at Antoine Semenyo. You're talking about a guy who has pace, speed, and power. Patrick Dorgu provides those same exact things. And ever since he's been moved to a winger position, Patrick Dorgu has found the ability to cross the ball and create chances. And that back post run, while I know City was sleeping, that takes intelligence. You have to know that position. You have to know where to be there. And that's where I'll transition to Cunha and the depth here, because I don't think there's been a point, even when Ten Hag was here, where the depth was this high. Let's just run through it. Mbeumo, Ahmed, Bruno, Dorgu, Cunha, Mount, Xerxes, and to top it all off, the guy who has 3 goals in his last 2 games didn't sniff the pitch. That's depth. When you're not playing them all at the same time, when you're able to bring them off the bench, you get performances like you did with Cunha today, which is exactly what United needed. You know what? Things are kind of getting stale. United's not getting a really good foothold of the game right now. We're going to bring in Cunha for Brian Mbeumo, and he just goes out and wins you the match, flat out. If United had stayed at 1-0, like, City could have got back in the game. Cunha came in and totally killed it, and he should have had 2 assists. I mean, the offsides on that last goal to Mount, I mean, what are we talking, inch? Like, not even an inch, like centimeters off the toe. I saw Florian Wirtz the other week get a marginally called offsides because there's no, whatever. I'm going to leave that there, but the depth is appearing now for United in the forward areas, but also in defense. I mean, Heaven came on today. Euro didn't even play. If Maguire and Martinez can play at that level, Shaw can play at that level, you just can do so much with the squad. The only question that I have, and luckily we're getting some depth back this week with Mazraoui, is that right back position, because, oh my God, for as good as the defense played, and they're my last point, this guy is just so far off the levels. Holy shit. Holy shit. Let's talk about the defense, though, because that's lesson number 5. United couldn't keep clean sheets in a 5-back. Just couldn't do it. They've done it a couple times here or there. They've done it against Newcastle in recent weeks, but it wasn't like this. United were structurally set up to win this game, and I talked about that with Carrick, but Harry Maguire and Lisandro Martinez should get all the praise in the world for this victory. If you were to give a man of the match to either of them for today's performance, I get it. And the shit that came out this week with Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes talking about Lisandro Martinez getting walked around by Haaland, how he could just put him in his pocket and walk him into the goal. I hope you watched that and just felt stupid as fuck. Because you should feel stupid as fuck. And I get it. These are all-time greats I'm talking about. But the disrespect level that these so-called legends have for the club is just crazy to me. You should be an ambassador. It's part of what made you as great as you were, as you played for a club like this. You know the weight that the shirt bears. Lisandro Martinez said, I see your words, I see your critiques, and I'm going to shove them down your fucking throat. And fuck yeah, he did. And this is why Butcher is going to be a cult classic hero for United. Because between him and Maguire and this entire 2023 back line here, they put in a shift against one of the most dangerous attacking forces in the entire league. And in particular, Erling Haaland is no joke. We're talking about one of the greatest strikers ever. And I'm not scared to say that right now, like he just is. And maybe he's a little bit out of form, but this guy eats dudes for breakfast. And Lisandro Martinez, from 1 to 90, took him out of the match. And he's done that consistently. And that entire back line, Maguire gets great credit to come into this moment after being injured and to see the match off. Gets a little hurt, just gets up, walks around his duty. And Dalot had good defensive moments too against Doku. Both fullbacks played on yellow cards for like almost the full 90. And United came away with the clean sheet. And I can't get this through my brain because they have been awful defensively all season. They came away with a clean sheet against one of the best attacking sides in the world. Nice, structured 4-4-2. It was a team effort today. And that's awesome. That's my lesson number 5, but I'll finish with this point. As much as I want to be over the moon, and I am, this has to continue. They have to build off this. And they get another game where they can be counterattacking, and it plays into their strengths a little bit more against Arsenal next weekend. And I'd love to see them go into this game with, again, house money and try to get a result. If you can get a win or a draw, like, if they get a win, I can guarantee you I think United get Champions League next year. I'm okay if you clip that, because that's how I'll feel afterwards. But even if you get a result, or even if the performance is just good, that's a step in the right direction, and it can be used as a platform. I thought that the Liverpool match earlier in the year would have been a platform, but that performance at Anfield compared to this performance at Old Trafford is night and day. This was Manchester United. This was Manchester United philosophy-coded, beautiful football. Counterattacking, direct, aggressive football at home to get the crowds behind them. And it worked out. It worked out. But you have to build. So even if you don't get a win next week, the performance has to be just as good as this one. You have to be just up to the task. And then you continue to build from there. Because if you can stack good performances, results will follow. United need momentum more than any other team in the world. They just do. And they almost critically need Champions League, or at least Europa League at the very, very minimum this season. And I'm excited to see how the end of the season unfolds, because it's craziness here in the Premier League. There's no other league where a team like Manchester United, with everything that's happened, could go into a game like this against Manchester City and pull it out. It's the best league in the world. United are the best team in the world on this given day. And I'll keep singing that to the rooftops. But I'm good. A good ramble there. I felt like 15 minutes was justified for a game like this and a feeling like this, because I'm fucking stoked. But I'll leave it there. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on the match. Please let me know. I'd love to have the discourse in the comments. If you're coming here as a City fan, let me know if you kind of felt the same way as Pep Guardiola did. But if you're a United fan, let's fucking rub it in a little bit. I think we deserve that. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. But please, if you like this content, you like the United stuff, you want to see us talk on our podcast, Clash of Clubs, about all things Premier League, we're going to break this game down today, tomorrow, whenever you're watching this. And it should be a good time. We produce daily content on social medias. We just hit 700 on TikTok, so thank you guys for that. We're close to 200. The goal is 200 subscribers by the end of January. Let's see if we can do it. If you made it this far, please drop a like, comment, share, subscribe. Do all the things that help us do this stuff for you guys. But I appreciate you listening, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.